What's up, everyone? I'm Coach D. Hey, thanks for subscribing to my page. We're almost at 54,000 subscribers, so please keep liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing to my page. I really do appreciate you guys. So Tim Scott is out there being Tim Scott. He is doing anything he can to try and seek the approval and attention from Donald Trump. This guy has to sit in his office, be visited by members of Donald Trump's cabinet, and pretend that they are more qualified for the job than he is, and also pretend that he's excited about these people getting the job. So you see him here in this picture with Stefanik, and he's like, oh, it was so nice to get to sit down and speak with her. And then he has this tweet about Linda McMahon, the WWE star, who is now the Secretary of Education, or going to be the Secretary of Education. And he's like, she's gonna make a great Secretary of Education. She has no experience. Tim Scott is still buck dancing to try and get Donald Trump's approval. So I want you to watch this video of Tim Scott on The View in 2023 because it really gives you a look into the mind of what makes a black conservative.
We have some things in common. You grew up in a single family household, single mother household. I grew up with both of my parents, but raised in the Bronx projects amidst a lot of poverty and violence. And you are the first black senator elected in the South since the Reconstruction. That would be about 114 years. Yet you say that your life disproves leftist lies. And
Yes.
My question to you is, I'm the exception, right? You're the exception. Maybe even Miss Whoopi Goldberg is the exception.
Oh, she's definitely the
but we are not the rule. And so when it comes to racial inequality, it persists in 5 core aspects of life in the U.S. Economics, education, healthcare, criminal justice, and housing. At nearly every turn, these achievements were fought, threatened, and erased, most often by white violence. You have indicated that you don't believe in systemic racism. What is your definition of systemic racism?
Let me answer the question that you've asked
Or does it even exist in your mind?
Let me answer the question this way. One of the things I think about, and one of the reasons why I'm on the show, is because of the comments that were made, frankly, on this show, that the only way for a young African-American kid to be successful in this country is to be the exception and not the rule. That is a dangerous, offensive, disgusting message to send to our young people today, that the only way to succeed is by being the exception. I will tell you that if my life is the exception, I can't imagine.
But it is.
But it's not, actually. It's
been 114 years.
Yeah, so the fact of the matter is we've had an African-American president, African-American vice president. We've had 2 African-Americans to be secretaries of the state. In my home city, the police chief is an African-American who's now running for mayor. The head of the highway patrol for South Carolina is an African-American.
Still exception.
So basically, she's saying that a lot of successful black people are the exception and not the rule. And she would like to get to a point where we are the rule. And Tim Scott says she's wrong and then starts naming off a bunch of exceptions to the rule. But here's something that black conservatives will do. They will tell you that they grew up in a single parent household and that they were on welfare and they were, they depended on social services to get them to where they are. And then in the same breath, say that black people need to pull themselves up by the bootstraps and just get things done the way that they did. In the same breath, they will go and speak down on people who are trying to use the same social services that got them to where they are. And not only speak down to them, they will actually vote against those services. And this is the problem with these black conservatives. They want this proximity to success and whiteness so bad that they will basically deny everything that helped them get to where they are to just be able to say, I'm one of you guys. And this is kind of a psychosis that people like Tim Scott and Byron Donalds, Officer Tatum, I've seen this guy go to college campuses and try to tell black kids there, look at me, look at what I did. I chose not to sell drugs and get in gangs and stuff like that, as if it's just that easy. See, here's one of the problems we have in this country. When white people, when white communities get funding, they call the funding for their communities revitalization. right? We're going to revitalize this area. We're going to build some nice buildings. When black communities ask for funding, they like to call that socialism or basically living off the government. And this is the type of lies and misinformation that black conservatives perpetuate. There are successful black people. No one is saying black people cannot be successful. What we are saying is there are a lot of roadblocks and hurdles that many black people have to kind of get around or get over to get to where they are. We're not asking for a handout or anything like that. We're asking to just smooth the road, make the process, make the road for our success as easy as it is for everyone else. And so black conservatives seem to look at this as people want a handout and no, we just want the same path to success that white people have been getting in this country forever. Period.
Don't want no enemies or ops. Envy in their heart, I tell them stop. Vacation on the yacht.